Diane Lane is a Hollywood veteran. In 1979, at the age of 14, she made her film debut opposite Laurence Olivier in A Little Romance. Later that year, she was featured on the cover of Time magazine as one of Hollywood's hottest teen stars. Since then, Diane Lane has made over 24 movies. Her latest is A Walk on the Moon, in which she plays a 1960s housewife who yearns to be a part of the sexual revolution.
I'm the teenager, not you! You had your chance.
No, I didn't.
Well, then why do the rest of us have to suffer just because you...
Things happen. Things happen that you don't plan for. Do you know how old I was when I got pregnant with you, huh? I was 17. Just 3 years older than you are right now, honey. Do you know how many boyfriends I had before I met your father? None. Do you know how many times I slept with your father before I got pregnant with you? Once.
Diane Lane is joining us this morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
Now, this movie is about one woman's revolution and evolution. Who is Pearl, which is the character you play at the beginning of the movie? Who is she at the end?
Well, my character's references were really from the 50s. I mean, she conceived her first child giving up her virginity in the back of a car. And in the 50s, really, that's the close of the book on her life, in a way. You do the right thing, and you ask no questions, and you go forward. And now our daughter is on the verge of becoming a sexual entity herself,
right,
which is enough to make your mind spin and, you know, sort of reel from the potentialities of what that means. And it was a very different world that they're walking into in the end of the 60s.
And who is she at the end of the movie? How has she changed?
Well, I like to think that the title serves the film very well, because A Walk on the Moon, when you're on the moon, you know, it's not a very life-supporting place, and you don't know if you ever can get home, and you see it and you realize it's far away and delicate, and you really appreciate it like you can't when you're home.
Which aspect of her transformation did you most identify with as a woman?
Well, I mean, motherhood just taints everything in my life in the best possible way. I like the fact that the movie very much deals with the symbiosis between mother and daughter,
right,
and how one relationship informs the other equally. And what your child is going through can really become a muse for what you're revisiting.
Now,
you know?
Is it what the daughter's going through in this movie that makes the mother awaken and reevaluate all of her life choices?
I think so. I think that would be accurate. Yeah.
How has your own daughter made you reevaluate your own choices?
Well, I'm still in the good old days. I mean, she's 5.5, and I feel like, yes, I'm tied to the tracks, and I can see the train coming slowly. And, you know, the teenage years are an inevitability, but this is such a great age, and just to see the world through her eyes and get on the floor and just appreciate her point of view on things, it's illuminating.
Did you have trouble identifying, or maybe it was easy for you to identify with a character who had it all and then, like, risked it all overnight?
I think that you can't, it's sort of like you can't appreciate home unless you've traveled. And I think you risk things because you forget what you need to protect. And I think that life choices involve sacrifice. And a lot of people's life choices occur before they realize the sacrifice that's involved. And don't forget that the debate hadn't begun yet about what it is to be true to yourself. And the me generation, and dialogues like I'm okay, you're okay, and group therapy, and what do you want out of this relationship, honey? I mean, that was just not part of our characters' references. So you really see that, the dawning of that in our culture.